Am I bi or lesbian? Starting off a series of answering your guys' anonymous questions because I love seeing what people will ask when it's anonymous. This question actually can be very, very scary. Speaking as someone that clung to their bisexuality for a long time in hopes that I could live a normal life. I was raised Mormon, okay? I get it. Some people do walk the bi to lesbian pipeline. You don't have to. Bisexuals are real and they are valid and they are lovely. I put so much pressure on myself to figure out if I was bi or lesbian. And while I am very comfortable in my lesbianism now, that doesn't mean that I doubt it sometimes. That doesn't mean that I never doubt it. My friends know closely that about once a year, compet comes crawling back in and I once again question if I'm a bisexual. And then I'll like kiss a boy or whatever and I'm like, no. Gay. You only need to label yourself if it's helpful. I think we get this false sense of security when it comes to labels. It makes us feel like we can really identify with a certain group of people, which labels can be great. They can be really helpful. It is a really beautiful sense of community to be able to say like, this is what I am. These are people I identify with, but it is not necessary in any way. I would start to really focus on your queerness and identifying how that feels to you and how that shows up in your life, how that shows up in your dating, but also really focus on decentering men. Even if you are bi, decentering men, though it is a lifelong journey as someone that was raised the way that I was and is just, you know, a cis woman in a very heteronormative world. Decentering men is one of the best things I ever did for myself, queerness aside. I think that I can only assume that would also be very helpful if you do want to label your sexuality, because even as a lesbian, they have to fight and be intentional about decentering men. It comes a lot easier now than it did a couple years ago. We are taught as women to crave male validation and attention to our core, and decentering men is one, the best advice I can give women in general, but especially queer women, and especially queer women who are maybe trying to figure out their sexuality. Such a huge difference between being attracted to men and wanting men to be attracted to you. All of that is to say, I do not have a finite answer for you. Sexuality is a spectrum and labels are subjective. You get to decide if that feels helpful for you to have that label. Either way, you can always just say queer. I love queer. I think queerness is beautiful. I think queerness is an amazing label to just be like, yeah, I'm here and I'm queer, because how you identify is truly no one's business but your own.